Yeah, hello.
Sometimes I like to not be the first person to speak on the podcast because I just like to see what you're going to go for.
Yeah. I've just had on the way here. I was at this. I was told about it by my roommates. They're like, "You've got to go check out this coffee place. It's unbelievable." And
now, can I quickly ask a question about coffee?
Yes, you can.
So I'm not a coffee man.
Yes,
I'm not. I've had coffee like once or twice in my life. Maybe twice.
Yeah.
Once was in like a courtyard in Toulouse with my uncle, and
you
he got a
were going wild.
He got a double espresso, and I was just kind of wanted to be French.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll have what he's having.
Yes, went in Toulouse.
He had two double espressos, and then I was just like trying to subtly just copy whatever he did with like the spoon and all.
Right.
And I swear to God, put 4 sugars into a double espresso.
There's more sugar than coffee in it at that point. Do you know what I mean?
Double espresso's about that big and 4 sugars is about that big.
It's fucking mental.
It's crazy.
It just becomes a little fucking like kind of strange fucking syrupy soup of a kind. Yeah.
You got Marmite in a cup at that point.
Some of these people are fucking wildly mentally ill with the sugar. Like,
but I was just like, well, I've never had coffee before. I'm going to do exactly what my Uncle Bill is doing.
Yeah.
And then 4 sugars in, and then he's just having a little sip and on a little bite of his biscuit. But it was just beautiful.
You had a bite of his biscuit?
I had a bite of his biscuit.
Jesus, that sounds raw enough now. But just the way you say it,
I'm not fucking my uncle.
Well, listen, don't say you had a bite of his biscuit then. What do you expect us to think? We're people of deranged...
Don't be spreading these kinds of rumours about me and my uncle.
Well, you're propagating itself. The
He's one of my few Protestant uncles. You don't talk about him like that.
Is he a Protestant uncle?
Yeah, Billy.
Did he convert?
No.
But then how is he... I don't even get... someone married him.
Yes, yeah. It's an uncle by marriage.
And his name's Billy.
Yeah.
Fucking, for like William originally.
Yeah.
Of Orange originally.
Well, I don't think that's his middle name.
Is it not? William of Orange Wilkinson. So anyway.
So people going past in the street, and I just thought, that's so nice. And then for a long time I thought, well, it's never going to be as good as that. A real sugary espresso in Toulouse, like the sun beating down.
Right.
You know, just like lovely people walking past, handsome Frenchmen.
So to have coffee again would just be a pathetic stab at nostalgia.
Yeah, it would be like a simulacrum of a once nice time.
Right, you're a mental head. Your brain is so mad.
But then I tried it once since.
Yeah.
When I was building up to exam time in university, I had 4 mochas in one go.
4 mochas?
Yeah, and thought I was going to die.
Jesus Christ. Sure, that'd have you fucking... You'd be like just an old fucking shuttering windows in the wind. Just...
I grabbed my friend Luke by the arm and said, can I start university again? I think I'll do much better with coffee involved.
Lad, coffee at the wrong time. I'm an anxious enough little bean of a man. And, sometimes a coffee in the wrong moment, and I'm really fucking, me head is absolute tarantulas. Do you know what I mean? Just
and you're not a man.
Everyone's bad.
Because to come back to, you were recommended this coffee shop by your housemates.
That's right.
And you're not a man who, like, in my experience, really cares about the quality of the coffee that he's getting.
I don't care about the quality of anything. I think, and this is just my opinion, like someone's like, oh, this is like, a sirloin steak from the arse of 300-year-old Chilean cow. And I'll say, oh, lovely. And I'll eat it and I'll be like, geez, that's nice. And then I'll have a bowl of Weetabix and I'll be like, that's nice too. I just think
everything's grand.
Everything's lovely, to be honest. I think most things are unreal. Like food-wise.
Big fan of most things.
Like a bit, like just white bread, toast, put butter on it. I'd eat it. I'd be like, that is unreal. Again. It's unreal again.
That is class. Tell you what I've been getting into recently in a similar vein. White bread, butter, toasted with a slice of apple on top.
Whoa!
Apple on toast is a fucking game changer.
That's very continental now.
Shout out to my friend Connor from primary school's mum, who first presented me with
This
apple on
woman was
toast.
mad.
Yeah.
Surely she would have been, people would have tried to have her committed for such a thing.
Shout out Anne Costello.
A culinary fucking renegade.
Yeah.
Apple on bread.
It's so tasty.
I mean, my father was mad for a banana sandwich.
I might have a banana sandwich today.
Lads.
See, when you're making a banana sandwich, and
Yeah.
this is very controversial territory we're getting into, are you going discs of banana or
Little
cutting it
chunks.
long ways? No, cutting it, because some people do the big long
Oh, I hear you, the big long one.
phallic banana sandwich.
Oh, like a banana split. Like you,
Yeah,
you
and then
split
that
it
just
down,
goes into
you
the
cut
sand-
the cock in half kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
It seems quite anti-man. You know, it's quite anti-man to cut the cock
Splitting
in
your
half.
dick in two.
Yeah, my father would mushy cock, banana sambo.
Your dad strikes me as a guy who doesn't like texture.
Well, no.
He's eating raw sausages. He's
raw sausages. I'm pretty sure I've seen him eating silage.
because mashed
before.
up banana is baby food.
Yeah, but he's a baby man. No, but he does have the mind of a baby. We've discussed this many times. He just loves ice cream, cans of Coke, bags of chips. He has little tantrums most days. Shits himself quite a bit. So I'm not joking. So he does like mushy banana in a sandwich, but then he will put he will put about a pound of sugar in that banana sandwich.
What?
Yeah,
He's putting sugar in a banana sandwich.
he is. Yeah.
Now, I've kind of caught myself out in a bit of hypocrisy here, although it's not something I like. People oftentimes do like a banana and Nutella or some kind of chocolatey spread sandwich.
That's right.
But he's just no need for beans to be involved.
No, he wouldn't have Nutella, as he'd say himself. Well, he's like, well, I'm not French. I'll get a fucking pound of sugar, put it in there, because I don't have time for this messing. Do you know what I mean? So he'd have the pound and then he'd eat.
Just sugar on a banana sandwich.
That's right. My father.
This man, can we fly him over to do the pod?
Lad. Sure, I've had him on 2 pods already on the Mike Rice show. If you want to look him up, they were iconic episodes. The man's completely out of his mind. You know what I mean? But is very well able to articulate his own derangement, which is great.
And does he have an awareness of how mad it is to put sugar on a banana sandwich?
Absolutely not. He thinks eating raw sausages, he basically thinks he's fucking Jamie Oliver. He just thinks people have not caught up to his. Do you know what I mean? That he's above.
Everybody's wasting time cooking their sausages like cocks.
We were cooking sausages the other day, and I remember my mother was cooking. He's like, "Don't cook them too much." And he was worried that they might be cooked through, and he'd be able to actually
And they're not
digest.
pink and mushy on the inside.
That's right.
This is probably why he's shitting himself so much.
Yeah.
He's eating mushy banana and raw sausages.
Yeah.
Although the banana might counteract the...
And he's just busy. He doesn't have time for the toilet. That's a luxury. That's a middle class luxury for the bourgeoisie.
Only the bourgeoisie take shits or cook their sausages.
That's right. Fucking posh cunt. So lad, I goes into this anyway, coffee shop this morning. So like that, I'm a dustbin. I like everything. I like nice stuff, but I also we have chocolate fingers there every day to break. Every single time, I can't believe how nice they are.
Chocolate fingers are class.
But every time, at the 1,000th time, there's still, crisps with a sandwich. To this day, I have it, and I can't believe.
What's your favourite crisps to go in a sandwich?
It depends. I fucking go between, because I get a lot of meal deals or just sandwiches with crisps. So I could go Walker's cheese and onion as a classic, good one with a sandwich. Then sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for Thai Sensations as a nod to the Orient, right? As just to kind of keep some money flowing back towards Asia. Arigato. And so...
No, I always find if I'm eating Walker's cheese and onion, I rarely go for a cheese and onion that isn't the Tato cheese and onion.
Right.
Because I find that it just makes me yearn for the Tato cheese and onion. Nothing quite lives up to the Tato cheese and onion.
So you've got a little psychological issue here where if an experience you have doesn't match up to the best possible experience you've had, it makes you quite sad and suicidal.
Yeah, this is why I hate most gigs that I do. And
right.
Yeah.
And there's a melancholy, a wistful yearning for the past.
If every joke hasn't gone the best it's ever gone,
Right.
I'm annoyed about a gig. And that never happens.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. Yeah. And you're often quite surly and unapproachable, aloof after gigs, just kind of a little dark cloud in the corner. No? Am I right?
It's
Trying to sell your merch, but you won't make eye contact. But you want the money.
There was one, the second Vicar Street show, Come Long really spotted it when he was like doing pictures for people. And I really felt it in my face. I didn't have the energy to smile.
Yeah.
So I was just really like kind of middle of the tour, like maximum burnout, just like. There's like 100 pictures, and I like none of them were posted on it, like because I wasn't tagged in any of the pictures.
Yeah.
Like none of them were posted because every picture of me at the second Vicar Street show is just like really trying to smile.
Lad, that's like, you should see the picture of me. So I'll tell you, when I was coming back there, it's 2 days ago, I was coming back in the airport from Ireland with Ramesh from this wedding I'll chat to you about now. I was best man at wedding. Nice.
I'm yet to do that. I'm excited. You can give me lots of tips.
I will.
But we'll come to that later in the podcast.
Yeah. You're going to have to...
We'll still have to come back to coffee.
Yeah, we'll come back to the coffee.
But we're in meal deals right now. And
Right.
we've got a small tangent to meal deals.
Yeah, but
Which
so,
is?
Well, so because you're talking about the face you're making...
Yeah.
When you're being, because you're just out of fucking gas. I did... So I was going through the security, right? Into Dublin Airport, Terminal 2. We're getting Aer Lingus. I'm doing quite well. And
I like an Aer Lingus.
Aer Lingus.
Aer Lingus is so exciting.
I felt literally like I've said it many times, but I felt like the King of France.
I had a BA recently, and I was like, "Oh, this is good.
Oh, lad,
This is good stuff."
You're like the Queen of Egypt on the shoulders. You're just lying on the shoulders of the slaves, and it's great. Egyptian
Where else
slaves.
would you want to be?
So they're it's okay to mention them.
They are. Egypt is in Africa.
It is, but if you see an Egyptian now,
but the Egyptian slaves were Jews.
Brilliant. Great. Thank God you said that. That gets us out of trouble. Anyway, so I was like the Queen of Egypt. You're going into Aer Lingus. You're happy as a pig in shit. So I'm going through anyway the security. Ramesh has gone ahead of me. I come out the other side of security. Ramesh is standing there with Keith Duffy of Boyzone fame, and they're just standing there, and she's just looking at me like this, and just look like as in she's a Keith, and then he's looking at me as well, and I go, how are you, Keith? I don't know what to say. Like, Keith Duffy's very famous in Ireland growing up. I was like, how are you, Keith? How are things? He's like, how are you, man? You all right? Now, what's happened here is Ramesh has told Keith that I'm a massive fan because she thinks Keith's in Westlife, right? And Keith... and
That's so funny.
And I'm not...
You're not a big Boyzone boy.
No, I'm not a Boyzone boy.
Yeah?
I'm not anti-Boyzone, but I'm a big Westlife fan.
Now, can we do a sketch called Boyzone of Interest?
Huh? We could do Boyzone of
If Keith
Interest.
Duffy lived next to Auschwitz.
Yeah, lad.
What's a Boyzone song? I don't know any Boyzone songs.
Don't love me for fun, girl. Let me be the one, girl.
Chimneys.
Love me for a
Just chimneys.
reason. Let the reason be love. And then, what happened there is happening as this is being sung, or just, I have a picture of you in my mind. Never thought I could do.
Asian Christ in front.
Yeah. It'll be a beautiful clashing of worlds. And there was something Goebbels-esque about Louis Walsh, Boyzone's manager. He was quite a propagandist.
If Goebbels was Louis Walsh,
Yeah.
is this what we're saying?
Yes.
Adolf, you really made it your own. You're a star.
Yeah.
So
You
much
are.
energy. We'd heard it before from people like Stalin, but you really made it work.
Simon, Hitler's good. He's good.
Winston.
He can sing, he can dance, he can exterminate races. Simon.
Simon. Sharon.
Sharon, look at Goebbels. He can move. Anyway, what's funny about Boyzone, and just very quickly, they were a great example because, so basically, before I want to say Take That and maybe Boys to Men, in America. Like this is kind of the start, the early genesis of boy bands. Before that, like you're in a band, you have to be able to play instruments.
Yes, it's the Beatles, it's the Stones, it's the blah, blah, blah.
Someone has to write the songs, you have this kind of stuff. And then you got into the boy bands, like, hey, what if they can't play any instruments, but they can sing, they can dance, they can do these things.
What if they have smooth skin?
Right.
What if instead of talent they have smooth skin?
Right.
What about that?
What if they have smooth skin and they can sing, they can dance, do they write songs? No, we'll get someone to write songs. Great, okay.
What if they have nice jeans?
Yeah. Right.
What about that?
By the time they got to Boyzone, it was like, can they play instruments? No. Can they write songs? No. Can they sing? No. Really. Can they dance? No. What do they have? Friendly. They're really friendly
Just four
lads.
nice guys.
They're friendly.
They're good boys.
They're good fucking boys. So I know Keaton and Gately now could fucking hold a tune. Don't get me going on that now. I know there'll be a few Boyzone heads now going fucking ape. I like Boyzone.
Fuck them.
No fucking way. No way. No way. Don't ever say that again. Also, currently, there's an amalgamation of Boyzone and Westlife. Boys Life, which is just Keith Duffy and Brian McFadden.
It's only two of them?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's right. And they've got 23 number ones between them, baby. And let me tell you, they're selling tickets.
Tell you, I saw a brief clip of an interview with Simon Cowell recently, which really shows him for like the devil that he is.
Yes.
He was like, his one regret from working with One Direction is that he never owned the name One Direction.
Right.
Because we'd still be touring like holograms, or like if one of them didn't want to be into it, we could do the other three. But like,
yeah.
Like he was just like so brazenly being like, oh yeah, I like it when I own the intellectual property of like the whole idea of the band.
Right.
Rather than them having any ownership of any of it. And I was just like, he was just on diary of a CEO, just being like, yeah, I wish I was more of a cunt.
Yes. I wish I could have manipulated the situation so that I could have more money.
It's just like,
and how does that make you feel? Honey. Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
Very fucking
it's funny,
weird.
You get aroused by money. That's interesting, yes.
But you meet Keith Duffy at the airport.
So I go out to Duffy. Ramesh and Duffy are standing there. She's looking at me like this because she feels like, remember, like Westlife, you love Westlife. And so I didn't know why she was looking at me. I'm like, what the fuck is Ramesh after telling Keith Duffy here? So I goes, well, Keith, how you going? He's like, how you going, man? You all right? And she was like, you know, and I was like, yeah, I know, it's Keith Duffy, like, you know, sound like, do you know what I mean? You know, Boyzone haven't been in the charts since, you know, they broke up in like 2000, you know.
Yeah, it's
anyway, so she's like, look at Keith Duffy. I'm like, yeah, I know. So anyway, she's there, and so I'm like, how are you, Keith? Anyway, he's like, not too bad, man, not too bad. And then there's like this moment of like, all right, and she's like, and I'm like, should we get a picture, will we, Keith? And then like Ramesh was like, yeah, we'll get a picture. He's like, yeah, no, but we'll have to go over here. And I was like, hope this now isn't bothering you too much. He's like, no, your grandman. So then anyway, we go for the picture and Duffy's there and Duffy's looking unreal. I said, Jesus, Keith. I was like, you look fucking class, lad. He's like, oh, thanks, mate. I'm like, why, you're riddled with Botox, I'd say, are you? I says to him, I just thought like, you know, he must be. He's near 50. Like, you should see how good this cunt looks. Sweet mother of Jesus. It's like the skin of an angel's kyock all over. It's so soft. So I was there like that, and I goes, Boris, he's like, no. You know, I forgot. He's from Dublin, like, do you know what I mean? I can't be telling this 50-year-old man he's riddled with Botox. Like, no. Clean living, mate. Clean living. I was like, oh, you pulled the other one, Keith. He didn't like that then. But so then, I was still standing, but we're in the pictures. But lad, I looked at the pictures after, and for one thing, I've just been drinking all weekend at this wedding. So I have this big fucking rotten, sweaty, booze swollen tomato head. I've never looked more like a farmer from the famine era. Like, do you know what I mean? Just from the ditches of the west of Ireland. And Duffy looks fucking immaculate.
And so you look older than the 50-year-old.
I look so much worse than Keith Duffy. It's unbelievable. And like this little head on me, just kind of like an old fucking, you know, like a pervert from a country pub. Like I was aroused by being beside Duffy. But Duffy he went off anyway. But geez, when I looked at the pictures, I was like, fuck, I need to, like, I can't be looking this much
you
worse
gotta get your shit together
than Keith Duffy.
But that's just after a bad weekend.
Huh?
I wouldn't hold that against yourself. Also, I'm pretty sure Keith Duffy threatened to scrap ISIS on Twitter.
No, that was McFadden, the other member of Boys Life.
Okay. I was just trying to, I was like, is that the guy we're talking about here? The guy who said ISIS should try and fight him man to man behind the bins or whatever?
No, but there's no doubt when like McFadden like tweeted that like Duffy sent him a text and be like, I'll be right behind you. But like, there is nothing surer than Duffy had his back with ISIS.
Well, he's had his back in other difficult times.
Well, lad,
I'm sure they wanted more than just the two of them in Boys Life.
Well, do you know what it is though?
He's the only one that picked up the fucking phone.
Well, see, they wouldn't let poor old McFadden back into Westlife. This was a big like McFadden left
because he threatened to scrap ISIS.
Well, the other lads aren't fighters. They don't want to.
Yeah,
they don't want to be dragged into the Middle East.
Yeah,
They've said that for years.
They've said that that's why they're called Westlife.
Yes, we stick to Western life. The clue's in the name, McFadden. Stop drawing us into Middle Eastern conflict.
Yeah, their whole thing is death to the Westlife.
Yeah. No, but so fucking McFadden left Westlife in 2003, I believe, and it was like there was people like girls on the street in Ireland like just no,
like when Kim Jong-il died.
It was very similar to Kim Jong-il dying, and there was grief. It was grieving in Ireland,
state-sanctioned grief.
Oh lad, and the UK. But he left them when like Westlife were at their peak. Even now, all their best songs almost were when McFadden was there. But so then, like recently, like Westlife had a comeback, and McFadden was kind of like, any chance you let me in? They're like, you can fuck off now, McFadden. You know what I mean? Go off there and fucking bare knuckle box fucking Muhammad Al Baghdadi or whoever you're planning on fighting in the UFC. So anyway, so then him and Duffy now are doing Boys Life, but they have like Westlife have the third amount of number ones in the UK ever after the Beatles and Elvis. Them and Ed Sheeran, I believe. So they have like 15 UK number ones. I can't
comprehend how big Elvis was on a lot of levels. You know what I mean? Because like the Beatles, I was like into them at one point. I've never been into Elvis.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
But it's just like it's so funny that no white person had ever moved their hips before.
That's right.
And that was all it was.
And people couldn't. I mean, the horniness.
Yeah.
They tapped in, between the Beatles and Elvis in the 50s and 60s, they tapped into just this fucking untouched horniness of young women. And it was...
Well, because everybody thought... everybody sort of thought that women were kind of sexless, like house appliances.
That's right. Yes.
They were just like a tumble dryer.
A tumble dryer, the dishwasher, the whole thing. And it was, a woman's sexuality was so fucking... it
was like functional. It was just like, it was about having the baby.
And not spoken of. And, it was everyone, like, you have everything covered and that. And let me tell you, the women just... They were just sopping.
But that's part of the reason the Beatles stopped touring, is they just like couldn't play music over the screaming.
Oh, no. It's absolutely impossible.
Like,
yeah. Hey, do you mind letting us sing a song there? No.
That's like Matt Rife now, just trying to do his bad jokes, and women are just screaming echoes at him.
There's just people furiously mopping around the fucking place. There's like,
he gets the local curling team.
They have to bring a boat in, sing Noah's Ark. They have to like rescue people because the sea level rises.
There's the local curling team just running around the chair, just going fucking.
But so here's another thing. When we got back to we got off anyway. We get on Aer Lingus.
Let's do your whole weekend. I want to talk about meal deals a little bit later.
We will,
and we have to talk about coffee. I'm sorry for taking us on such a diversion.
So we're going to get back to the coffee thing, but when we got to the airport, London.
This is on the way back from Dublin to London.
Yeah, so now we're London, and Ramesh has her big bag that was checked in. So we're all waiting for her luggage.
For how long?
Huh?
For how long?
Well, she was over it was to a wedding though, so she needed fucking, do you know what I mean? You need like a whole kit. Yeah, it's like setting up a fucking concert in Croke Park, the amount of equipment she has, do you know what I mean? So she has a big bag, right, over that she had checked in. So we're waiting for the big check-in bag. Duffy is also waiting there. Now at this stage we're like, I don't want to disrupt Duffy again. But so we're all waiting.
You've had your moment with Duffy.
That's right. Takes about 15 minutes. Next thing anyway, our bag comes. Next thing Duffy's bag comes. Duffy takes his bag. It's a fucking carry-on. Duffy doesn't know that you can bring the bag onto the plane.
Some people like what are you talking about?
It's a carry-on bag that he's checked in.
Yeah.
A fucking carry-on.
Yeah.
You can just bring it on the plane.
Sometimes sometimes I'll do that.
Why the hell would you do that?
I don't like the fact it's like one last thing.
What do you mean it's one less thing? It's going to take you like fucking
10 minutes?
No! It's going to cost you time. You have to go fucking check it in and do the whole little thing. Wrap the thing around the bag.
But sometimes at the gate, they'll ask people if they want to check in because there's not that much space in the overheads.
No, I like the narrative I had, which is that Duffy doesn't know. That he doesn't know you can bring the bags on the plane. That nobody's told Duffy. Huh?
It's great.
What?
It's so nice. If you're not in a rush at the other end getting off your flight, I'll say to them, do you need extra overhead locker space? Would it be helpful if I put this in the hold? And they'll often be like, yeah. And then, I don't have a wheelie suitcase anymore, and that's great.
I think this is absolute nonsense. It could possibly, sometimes the fucking bags are delayed by half an hour. Like, this is so dumb.
Yeah, if you're not in a rush. What's the worst case scenario? You sit in an airport for a bit?
What the hell is wrong with you? You want to get out. You want to get home. You want to get some food.
You are in such a blind panic at all times.
I want to get to where I'm getting to now. Come on, life is happening. We're going to die one day. There's no heaven. This is the only one we got. You're going to wait around, you and Duffy, like a pair of fucking lemons, Podge and Rog?
Just sitting there. It's just sit.
Good God. That's after upsetting me now.
Sometimes it's nice to just sit.
It absolutely isn't.
I'm not. Why are you in a rush?
Because I need to achieve.
You need to listen to Kurt Vonnegut more. There's a good quote I read recently from Kurt Vonnegut where I also saw a good video of him explaining storytelling, which was fucking class.
Yeah.
Basically, like if you have the like in the graph form, he tried to like use science to explain storytelling, and then at the start of the like little lecture he's giving, he goes, and I tell you, people don't appreciate it because he's got the y-axis is like the bottom is like things are terrible. It's like what the fuck is like contentment of the main character. So it's like things are awful, things are really, really bad, and like best ever, heavenly, blah, 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 blah at the top. And often like lots of stories just go like big U in the middle. Things are great, bad thing happens, things are slightly better than they were even at the start.
That's right.
And then he goes through all these different like story arcs based on like different like things that have happened. And then he goes through, and one of the greatest stories of all time, Hamlet. William Shakespeare decided to do something quite different where things are really bad, and then they kind of continue to be bad, and it's just a straight line of shite. And he's like, and that greatest story of all time.
Yeah,
it's just like fucking great. But he had a good thing about he was talking about his wife, the old ball and chain. He said he was going to go get an envelope from the shop.
Uh-huh.
And she said, Kurt, you're a very wealthy man. You could order 100 envelopes on the internet and you would never have to go to the shop and get one single envelope ever again. And he said, but on the way to the shop, I might meet a dog or say hello to a woman with a baby in a pram. I'll meet and say hello to the nice baby and just generally fart about a bit on my way there. And sure, what's life for if not farting about?
Farting about. And he'd let off a few farts as well on the way.
He looked like a farty man.
He can empty the bag.
He's a farty man.
Yeah.
I've really embedded that into me of like, take every opportunity you can to just fart around and have a nice time.
Chill out. Yeah, you're probably right now. I mean, I'm in my head, I'm just thinking, you and Vonnegut are fucking one worse than the other, blind leading the blind there. Get things done. There's work to be done. There's cows to be milked. What the hell are you talking about? Life isn't a holiday camp, you bum. Anyway, but that's my inbuilt.
You've looked at it because people talk about the carrot and the stick. Yeah. It doesn't even feel like you're racing towards something. It's you're racing away from something.
And I'm also wildly unproductive. I just blindly stab around, half doing things, then I start another thing. I've no focus. Just
panic.
Fuck.
Yeah, real panic.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's a great way to live, and it's a great way to exist in the world. You should all try it. Take too much coffee, see if you can get yourself a general anxiety disorder and see how things go.
So you were convinced Keith Duffy. Also, can we discuss broadly the name Keith?
Yeah.
The name Keith is kind of famously and like often used as an example of a very boring
Yeah.
like name, like nerdy, bookish.
Keith from The Office definitely did a lot for that.
But there's a reason they called him Keith. Do you know what I mean? It's
You're
like
right.
part of like because that's the type. Oh, Keith.
Where he's just
Keith.
like, Keith, you've written your weaknesses include eczema, but that's not really a yeah, on my feet. It's so funny. God damn.
But yeah, so it's like, but there's so many examples. Like often you have the exception that proves the rule. There's so many examples of mad Keiths.
Yeah.
Keith, your man who was in The Prodigy, who died.
Oh yeah.
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards.
Keith Moon.
Moonsy.
Keiths are mad cunts.
Keith Moon was off his fucking tits.
All of them are mad cunts. And then we've got Keith Duffy.
Duffy's
Doesn't know how to take a bag on a plane.
No, he doesn't. He's running. He's selling tires. He's in Boy's Life with Brian McFadden. The two of them are trying to single-handedly defeat ISIS. Fucking bare-fisted.
I think we need to rebrand Keiths.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single boring Keith. Keith Earl's good rugby player, real
That's
sparky
right.
player.
Fast player, exciting player.
Yeah.
Keiths are sexy.
Keith Wood, big fucking lump of a man.
One of the best.
One of the best.
One of the greatest props. Is that what you call him? A hooker. One of the greatest prostitutes of all time.
prostitutes.
He's selling his fucking hoop down by the Shannon.
I can't think. What's Keith Chegwin? Who's that?
Who?
I don't know who that is. That's a name that English people say, and I don't know what it
Keith
is.
Lemon? That guy's
He's mad as well.
He's mad as a bag of fucking cats.
Keith. I can't think of a
There's
boring
not a boring
Keith.
Keith. Yeah, Keiths are sound, so fuck up slagging Keiths. These are the most electrifying men in sports entertainment.
Justice for Keiths.
Justice for Keiths.
Keiths everywhere
And then there was
deserve more
John
respect.
Keats, who was the fucking poet.
That's
I wander lonely as a cloud.
That's Keats.
Keats. But you're still, it's in the same fucking ballpark. These are great people. People. It rhymes with deets. Hey, give me your deets. That's fun.
It does when you say it. It doesn't rhyme when I. Keith.
Did you say Keith? Oh yeah, you pronounce your THs.
Yeah.
Like a coward. Like a man that is fucking drinking the Queen's soup 24/7. You don't pronounce your THs if you want to be Irish. All right? Now start pronouncing words like a fucking fool and join the cause, please. So just to wrap up the coffee shop, I goes into this place. It's down Holloway Road near the station. And I goes in and, it's immediately like, there's just these guys with like long mopping baristas behind the counter, and it's all just like the Smiths playing, just like take me out tonight. And the guys are just like, you can't see their legs, they're just kind of like floating melancholically, like lonely as a cloud. They are just like clouds putting in. So anyway, it goes up, and my roommates have been raving about this place. So I go over, and I was like, he was like, hey, can I help you there? And I was like, yeah, no, I'll have an old coffee there, filter coffee, because they told me to get filter coffee. He's like, okay, yeah. He's like, we've got this Colombian filter coffee. He's like, it's quite vanilla. It's quite cakey. It's quite cakey. I was like,
Cakey?
Cakey. I was like a cake. He's like, yeah, like cake. And I was like, would you have any coffee now that'd be like coffee? Maybe. And he's
Is it like a coffee cake? Are you confusing coffee flavored cake for every other cake?
This is what I did exactly. This is. I think in his head, it's like it tastes like coffee cake.
It's mad. It tastes like coffee cake.
Like he had coffee cake before he had.
And we've got this Satsuma. It tastes like Terry's chocolate orange. You wouldn't believe it. It's
so he was
this
there.
apple tastes like apple drops.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, it's quite cakey, and then I was like,
Cakey's so funny.
It's very cakey, and then I was like, all right, so, and I was like, right, so sure, maybe I'll get an old cup of that there, and he was like, all right, yeah, I think you like it. And I was like, how would you think I've never met you before. You don't know what I like. All right? I'm from a family of people who eat raw sausages. You don't know.
This is such a thing we share in common. We're so belligerent and ready to be annoyed at people for nothing. Anytime anybody goes like, oh, have you seen this TV show? And I go, no. And they go, oh, you'd love it. I'm like, you don't know me.
Yeah. You don't know.
Fuck off.
I like cartoons.
You don't know anything about me.
I like the movie Up. That's it. That's the only thing I've ever liked. You don't know me.
You don't know anything about me. Shut up.
It's very cakey. And then anyway, it just gives me the anyway.
And then you're
pours me
motivated
coffee.
to not like it.
Well, it just tastes like coffee. It was coffee
Well,
the whole time. It was the coffee the whole time.
Do you think this is all
Cakey.
bullshit? The like the swanky coffees and all nice coffee. I guess you could probably tell the difference between like a Nescafe instant and like a good filter coffee, but maybe not.
You can taste the difference, but let me tell you, Mike likes instant coffee. I think instant coffee is fantastic. I love it, and it's so quick. And for a man in a constant
Instant,
panic,
almost.
Oh my god, that was a poke in the nose for Mike. So
Although instant, I will agree, instant coffee is quite misbranded.
yeah,
You can't be putting instant on instant noodles. There's a process.
yeah, it'll take you a minute.
Stuff's happening.
That's right. You have to boil the kettle. You don't just, you know what I mean.
And stir. Yeah.
So anyway, I had the cakey coffee, but
You had the cakey coffee?
It wasn't cake at all. It was just coffee. But just the way he was saying it, cakey. It's quite cakey.
You have to just like, but all
Right.
this, it's coffee and whiskey as well. You're just like, it's just whiskey.
That's right.
It's all just like, it all tastes bad.
Yeah.
That's not. So you have to just concentrate. Like, well,
It's drugs.
if you really, really concentrate, you can taste the slight difference. It's like it's all petrol.
It's drugs in a cup. Coffee's drugs. It's drugs in a cup. There,
Yeah.
do you want your drugs in a cup? Hot drugs in a cup.
Because your coffee thing is just like you.
I'm not panicked enough.
Yeah, it's
Give
just,
me more.
It's just a supplement to you. It's not.
Yes.
It's not like, and you're not enjoying a coffee in
no,
a courtyard in Toulouse.
Again, I'd like sitting out in Toulouse and looking at French people being stupid.
Did you say
and-
Toulouse?
Huh?
Did you say Toulouse?
I could have said Toulouse. And if I did, maybe we'll just go with that. Well, maybe we don't have to reverse back and, pull me up on everything. Maybe I'm just allowed to be stupid. Can I? So, Toulouse, I like sitting out, throwing bread at French people and like seeing them, feeding them like ducks. And it's fun. And I like it, if someone's like, hey, here's a nice coffee, I'll have it. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, that is lovely. I don't know. I don't know if it's good. I'll be honest. I don't really know a lot. Sometimes the people are like, that's shite Guinness, I'll taste it. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's shite. I don't know.
Now this is probably
I
where
don't know that much.
my argument falls apart. Is that there are bad Guinnesses.
Right.
There are bad Guinnesses, and I don't know what's going wrong with them.
It's the pipes.
It's the
It's- you're
distance from keg to pipe, and it's difference in like maintenance and cleaning of pipes. That's gotta be it.
I've been told by a little Northern Irish hairdresser in Berlin who runs a place and serves pints of Guinness while you're getting your hair cut. So sick. What a man. Legend. So although at one point I was like, we're Irish. And he's like, I'm not Irish. I was like, oh, nice.
Which is in line with the Guinness family brand.
Yeah, yeah. But he was just saying, I was like, oh, that's lovely Guinness. I was like, what is the crack there? And he was like, just clean the pipes, mate. That's it.
That is at the end of the day. And then the other thing is you got to sacrifice like 2 pints at the start of the day.
Yeah.
To just God, I think. Because if you think of the length of a pipe between keg and tap,
Yes.
you can hold about a pint or two in that length of pipe.
Mm-hmm.
So overnight, while the pub's been closed, a whole pint or maybe 2 pints, sometimes depending on length of pipe, has just been sat in the pipe. So it's not been in the keg, it's not been in a glass, it's just been sat in this
Yeah.
weird plasticiness that's just infusing into the Guinnessiness. And that's true of any beer. And I'm not sure why. I guess because sometimes Guinness is tasty and lager is bad.
That's an opinion of yours. Yeah, I would think lager is
On a summer's day, I like a lager. I can only ever have like 1, maybe 2 pints of lager. It's so fizzy.
that would be a personal weakness on your behalf. No offense.
It's so fizzy.
It's not that fizzy.
I just need a shit so
then
quickly.
go take your shit, come back and continue on. Like,
But it's all, I'm just spending the whole evening holding in farts. That's what happens when I
don't
drink
hold
lager.
them in, let them out. You're amongst brothers. just farted all up. Everyone farting. You can believe there's people not holding in farts.
Apparently, my mum was talking about when the smoking ban came in, or was it my auntie? Somebody was talking to me about when the smoking ban came in like pubs and stuff. It really shone a light on how bad pubs smell.
Yeah.
Aside from the cigarette smoke. Like what? Because the cigarette smoke was actually doing quite a good job of like covering up all the smell of piss and shit.
Well, it's like anything in the ecosystem. You think it's, we'll get rid of that. And then you realise it's serving a purpose.
Yeah, the smoking pubs. But it is absolutely ludicrous that people were just smoking like in their office at their desk.
So sick though at the same time. It's just such anarchy.
Like my dad was 60 a day just at his desk.
Love it. What I love, not only the smoke, but also there's just ash and fag butts everywhere. It's just literally just treating the world like a dustbin.
And so, but like the nobody was like, or like anybody who was like, oh God, can you not smoke in here? Was seen as like a bit like uptight and too buttoned up and a bit too like.
They were losers. They were virgins. Get out of my face. You never been fingered? Fuck off. You haven't heard about getting a blowy? Get out of my face. We're smoking. We're cool. We're going to take 13 years off our own lives. You think we give a fuck about the rules? No. Fuck that. Smoke up, die young. Let's have fun.
Hey, smoke up, Johnny.
Yeah. Make a little ad when you're dying and when you're 60 years old and be like, I should have quit smoking.
It would have been well easier to get away with smoking, like, and people not know that you were a smoker, and that like every time you came home from the pub, you just stank of smoke.
Yeah.
No matter what, so nobody would be like, oh, you've been smoking, because now you can tell. Like
That's
if somebody's
right.
been smoking, and you'd have to be like, oh, I was just in the smoking area hanging out.
I've been getting well back into fags recently. I bought a lot of boxes recently, and I tell you one thing. It's cool. It's actually really fucking cool. And you're out there, you're smoking, and you're like, do you know what, actually, this was good all along. You see the people vaping, you're like, this is going to give you some sort of fucking swollen
robot
brain
cancer.
syndrome.
It's
robot
fucked,
cancer.
yeah.
Your eyes are going to fall out.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
over here fucking puffing on a Johnny Player, and everyone wants to shag me right now. They must, because this is hot.
Yeah, it's definitely cooler than vaping. Vaping feels like you're going to get some kind of like computer virus.
Oh, lad.
Like you're just going to one day be
And
like,
you're big time in danger of
error
that.
404.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not vaping. I've never vaped.
Do you think if you're feeling mental illness, that it is kind of like a computer virus for you?
Yeah, I just need to find my control alt delete. I think if you touch my bum hole, the tip of my dick, and the tip of my nose at the same time, I'll be fine.
I just do little tabs popping up in your head like Bet365 fucking fuzzies.
Oh yeah, all the viruses.
Yeah, all the viruses.
Oh fuck, there's hot women in my area.
But lad, I was.
But smoking, but wait, because the smoking thing is like, when did you start? When was your first smoking?
12. We used to rob, maybe 11 actually. We used to rob these majors from my babysitter Chrissy. She used to have these little stubby
Oh, I thought
fags.
you meant like army men you were stealing the cigarettes from.
No, we
You
weren't.
used to rob these majors. I didn't know that majors was a type of cigarette.
Lad, these were like industrial strength. Like you could tar a road with these fucking things. They were unbelievable. But so Chrissy used to be puffing on them every day out in her back porch, and we said, by God, if she thinks she's the only one who can have fun, she can fuck off. We're going to rob some of them. So me, my brother Pa, and my cousin David would rob fags, and we go down to this fucking hedge at the back of our garden, and we go in there and we just fucking light up and to be like, is that nice? You'd be like, yes, sick. And you're like, you know, and
An 11.
yeah.
And what was the like?
And you felt cool.
You'd seen this lady smoking and thought it was cool, or on TV. What was the represent? I guess because my dad smoked, and then I'd quit and had a hard time quitting. And also one time I was like playing in the garden, and my uncle was just holding a cigarette, and I got burnt running past him.
Yeah.
I always had an immediately negative association with cigarettes.
Yes.
Already, but I'm trying to work out what was so neither of your parents smoked.
Neither of my parents smoked, but then we had Chrissy smoking. We had our people who worked on the farm, Martin Kelly, John Paul, who'd be coming in and out working for us. They smoked. They were cool. They drank big 2-liter bottles of Coke. And, you know, you could feel like you're like, these men are you know, fucking. And, you know, you'd see the people in town who were tough and wore the white hats, and they had the nicest
White hats?
ladies. Yes.
Sailors?
Scanger hats with the like New York sign on the front of them, and they were in town and they were smoking and fighting and fingering and playing handball, and you think, by God, I'd like to live the life they're leading. And it seems like smoking is the quickest way to start leading that life. So a lot of people around us, like the coolest cats, were smoking. So we were like, fuck it, we can do that. And also there was an element of devilment, rebellion, wrongness.
You knew on some level it wasn't what you were supposed to be doing.
100%.
Because I just picked up different things that I thought were cool. I remember one time when I was quite young, we were at an airport and I saw a man chewing gum, and I thought that was cool that he was chewing with his mouth open. So when I was eating my sandwich at lunch, I turned to my mum and went, "Look." And she was like, "What are you doing?" Just because I thought that was the cool thing to do.
I'm being attractive. I'm being hip.
I'm being cool.
Yeah, I'm being groovy. I'm being a groovy young man. But so I was like I swear, like after this weekend now at the wedding, I was best man at my head was like an ashtray. I was basically like a fucking chimney in the Industrial Revolution. I was just constantly just smoke coming out of me. Do you know what I mean?
So tell how long are you over for the wedding?
Well, so I was back.
And you're best man as well. Flip me, that's big.
It was pressure because because I'm known to be a comedian by my friend. So my friend Owen Grant says when Grant grew up with me on my farm,
I would like to have you as best man at my funeral.
just to make people as depressed as possible.
Yeah. Just so you have to do a speech and put on a stag do. Instead of a wake, you take my coffin to Budapest and go to strip clubs and stuff.
Have a stripper just at their house in your dead Vito head. Yeah. She's like, his head is so big. I'm just like, that. Don't talk ill of the dead now, hooker. Just do your job. It's Keith Wood. We ordered the wrong hooker. Anyway, that was
this
good.
Is a friend from school?
Yes. So
and the pressure, yes. So I've heard that this, and I'm not suggesting this is what's happening.
Yeah.
I've heard from several comedians that often you get more best man shouts than you probably should when you're a comedian because they're basically backing you to do a good speech.
Yeah. And there was definitely that element to it. Now, this particular friend, we had grown up together. Like he was on my farm from the time we were 12 till we were 18. He loved farming, and he was like a member of the family. Like my parents were at the wedding. Like they fucking love him. So it was pressure. There was a lot of pressure on me, particularly I felt in the church. I had to do things with the rings. They all know, as you know, I'm a featherhead. I make a lot of mistakes in life.
Because I don't know the scope of the responsibilities of a best man entirely. So you're looking after everybody's ring?
That's like eating your uncle's biscuit. Now that was again, you've strayed into the smutty there. Now I'm not looking after everyone's ring. I'm not fucking look. Oh, can I have just a quick look at your asshole there as they're coming into the church? Please try and behave yourself. This is a sacred union, a marriage, and I would just rather if you didn't do that kind of thing. So looking after everyone's like, is your asshole okay? Does it need a bit of ointment there, Marjorie? If you could put a bit of diaphene down there, Michael, that'd be lovely.
With Anusol.
Yeah. So I have the rings, like, and my friend don't, like, he knows I'm, mentally, I'm not like mentally disabled. I'm not, but I am in like
the panic makes you disabled. That's what it is. You're like a very smart man who just never lets himself think.
That's a wonderful description. I'm just going to take very smart from that. But so anyway, so I have to look after the rings. That's in my head. I'm like, fuck, kind of pressure. And then during the wedding ceremony, I have to like look after the chairs. So I have to bring the chairs up behind them, take the chairs away. But there are specific moments I have to do that on. So during the rehearsal, I took it all down in notes. I was like, because in my head, I was like, I am not going to fuck up at this wedding because everyone thinks I'm going to fuck up because everyone thinks I'm an idiot. I'm not going to be an idiot. I'm going to do a good job.
Now, do you think people were thinking that, or do you think this is just part of your kind of blind panic of everyone thinks I'm going to fuck up? I feel like everybody was excited that Mike was going to do a good job.
No, I think they all think I'm an idiot. And no, I like even as I was talking to everyone like at the wedding, like around anytime I talk to anyone, I'd be saying anything. They think I'm making fun of them all the time. They're like, you know, I'd be like, oh well, how's it going? He's like, oh, if I tell you, you'll use that in the
That's
thing.
classic. That's classic weddings for a comedian. Is people going, or either they're worried you're going to do it, or they tell you to put benign nonsense into your act.
Yeah,
they're always like, you can put that in your act, and it was like, what? Yeah. Her finishing her drink.
Yeah.
What?
You can use that one there in the act.
She used the wrong fork.
Yeah.
You can put that in
your little skits.
Put that in one of your skits.
In your stupid little skits, you fucking idiot. So there was a bit of that, but I was focused, so I did a good job on the day with the chairs and stuff. Although when I put the chairs behind him first, his one said Mrs. and her one said Mr.
And this is at the ceremony.
This is in the church. So I was like, oh, there's
Is this for the signing? When are they sitting down? Oh, because they're up and down.
They're up and down. They're sitting down during it. So now this one says it's calling him a girl and her a lad. And then I'm like, but is that the way it's meant to be? Because the chairs had been put out beforehand. And I was like, is that like a thing where there's a gender mix up? But then apparently that's not a thing. So
no.
The bridesmaid was like to me, we need to switch them. I was like, oh, okay. So that all went fine.
And did you know the bridesmaids?
No, I didn't. I didn't really know them. It was.
Was there an animosity between the bridesmaids and the groomsmen?
There was quite a bit of bitterness and resentment there, and it nearly came to fisticuffs. They were ISIS and we were Brian McFadden. I'll put it to you that way.
I understand.
So anyway, that all went fine. Now, throughout the day, everyone said to me, like, my friend Paddy quoted to me, like, he's like, you must be under so much pressure to do a good speech. Because everyone's expecting a really good speech from you, because you're a comedian. I was like, yeah, I know I'm a comedian. Like, just so you know, everyone's expecting. And I'd have literally people coming up, we're expecting a lot from you now with the speech. We're expecting a good one. That's what we're all waiting for. And I'd just be like, yeah, this is wonderful
this is
way
helping.
to be chatting to me now. So that's going on the whole day. But in my head, I'm like, do you know what? I fucking, like, if it's not good, then what? So what? What are you going to do? I'm going to get drunk and have fun anyway. You can all fuck off. You know, in my soul, I was like, you know, a bit defensive. But I had done a good bit of prep on the speech.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, so I kind of centered it around.
You tried it out of Top Secret.
Huh? I tried it out with Top Secret, the Comedy Store, bombed. No one knows who he is, but you know, it's just good
you
to
get a sense of the rhythm of it.
Yeah, and you talk it out loud. But so my friend Grant, so he grew up on our farm, but he's from the town, right? So he grew up in the town, and we played hurling together, and he was the captain of our team because his father was the manager.
Quick note! Oh wow, that was a little.
I know he was
a little
good.
Jab for Grant there.
Well, it's a great way to do well on the team if your father is the manager. That's what I found.
Quick note on Kilkenny. Can we fucking do that comedy festival next year? Who do we need to suck off to make that happen?
Lad, don't even get me.
All these cunts said I had a great time in Kilkenny. Why am I not having a great time in Kilkenny?
Why are you? Why am I? I'm from there. I'm from 5 minutes away from the stage. And I've never been asked that stupid fucking festival.
We'll make it happen next year. We're making it happen next year.
I messaged him on Instagram. They said, like, oh no, it's just we don't have room. I saw some of the people that are on that lineup.
You had room.
Makes me want to fucking impale myself on a fucking spike. I just want to be dropped on top of the fucking spire in Dublin and have it come up through my arsehole and rip through my head.
We'll get it sorted for next year. It'll be fine.
Yeah, hopefully. But so...
I was literally listening to Mike Birbiglia's podcast today. He's like, oh, I was doing cat laughs in Kilkenny, and I was like, you were fucking what?
You!
You're from so far away!
I have a farm 2 miles out! I supply the fucking city with milk and cheese!
You're from Massachusetts, you fucking cunt!
You fucking little pig. Oink oink.
You're a worm, Mike.
You're a worm, Mike. I don't know how a bird hasn't eaten you, Mike. But so I do the speech, and I have a good a joke early on that really gets me over. in the speech, which is I talk about the fact that Owen grew up in the town. He went to a town school. I was from the country. I was from a farm. I went to country primary school. But I realised that even though he was from the town, he believed he was from the country, So he was born in the body of someone from the town, but he identified as being from the country. So in today's language, you'd call him trans-rural. Big laughs. Yes. And I said, and in today's society, of course, we would, accept him. He'd be given hormone treatments, he'd be given hair implants in his ears, and he'd be accepted as country. But back then, it was a more ignorant time, so we all just thought he was a massive idiot.
That's really funny.
Yeah. And then, so that kind of had me off to the races. So the speech went very well. Now, it went well because I had worked hard on the speech.
You should.
Because I was like, people are going to be expecting it to be good.
I think what's also good about being a comedian doing that kind of speech is like any sincerity or any like nice, thoughtful moments land brilliantly because people like aren't like the moment when a comedian like doesn't make a joke lands so wonderfully. Did you have thoughtful, kind moments in your speech?
I don't care for them. There just doesn't seem to be. I just don't feel they're necessary. No, I did. But the thing was, right, before I had gone, I was last and I was emceeing. So I was introducing people and then I was the last to speak. But so 3 of the speeches already had been very like lots of tears and stuff like that. So it's hard to match that. So I did my speech and I thought it through and it was, funny and different things, and then at the end I was like, I'm going to throw in something heartfelt, and as I was saying it, I nearly started crying. I was like, I really kind of teared up, and so I ended kind of on this like sincere note, and everyone kind of cheered and stuff like that. Then afterwards, I turned to my friend who was the groom, like, and he couldn't even look at me. I think he thought I wanted to fuck him. He didn't like it. I don't think he liked the sincere thing at all. I think it freaked him out.
You couldn't make eye contact after that.
He couldn't. No,
I've spoken about this before. The time when men open up to each other is when they're both driving in a car.
Yeah,
because you just
look forward, being like, I haven't felt really good for a while.
That must be really hard, mate. But then if you turned, it'd be like, it's a person. Yeah. I thought I was talking to nobody.
Yeah, you're talking.
I thought I was talking to the road.
Yeah. I feel lonely in the company of others. And he looks like, I mean,
fuck you.
I watched
you stupid cunt.
Limerick versus Clare was a good match.
But that's part of that. But you had a sincere moment. You had a nice moment.
That's right.
The old Don Rickles. Ba 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 ba. Sincere last couple lines.
And that was it. And it was just the last bit I did sincere. But then I went down and then my friend couldn't really look at me and he was kind of like, oh yeah, good job, yeah. And I could tell he is like, why did you have to say that gay stuff? So now I'm down like that. And then I go down and my father is there as well and my mother. And they enjoyed the speech, but I could tell my father didn't like the ending where I was like sincere. But I did, I nearly choked up at the end. I'm glad
That's very sweet. That's
held
very
it back.
Cute, Mike.
Huh?
It's very cute.
Well, do you know what I said at the end?
Yes, I don't want to, obviously, because like those speeches are quite personal. Is there any, like, you could tell us what the sentiment of the sincere bit is, the cute bit?
Well, no, it was just
the sweet
because
bit where you went all gay?
I did go, and I probably shouldn't have grabbed his cock. That was
you sucked him off at the end of the speech?
I tried, but he got away. He escaped. No, so I says at the end, which was true, that like when I moved to America and got into comedy and like all this stuff, and I've lived in different places all over the world, and he was the one person that always would ring me, even though I know he would have thought what I was doing was just mental, even though I know that about him. Like, he's a guard, he's into farming, like, this whole, but he would always
he's a real normal life.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and he's just, you'd have to know him. He's a legend. He's a king. Yeah. But like, he's just like, what kind of queer thing are you doing over there? But he always kept in contact. And so I was going through that, and I just kind of teared up because I did feel like, he has been a great friend, and we did grow up together on the farm, and then I ended it because the lady he married had
killed yourself.
What?
And then I ended it. Sorry. Just so funny. Be like, you killed yourself. So I said the sincere thing, and then I ended it.
Yeah.
You killed yourself.
You took your own life at the wedding.
Like,
Am I talking to a ghost?
like, what's his name? That American who shot himself on live TV.
Who the
Gillis said he was going to do it on SNL. When he first got like cancelled, Shane Gillis was like, "Oh, if I ever get asked back to host, I'm gonna this person," and it's a guy who shot himself in the mouth on TV, which would have been the funniest thing ever if Shane Gillis had just fucking.
I mean, yeah, it would have been hilarious, and then you'd be like, "Oh fuck,
Oh no, Gillis is gone.
Gillis is dead." That stinks.
It's so sad.
He's so good.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, you finished the speech by.
So yeah, I did. I gave a heartfelt thing, and
That's very nice, and to appreciate someone for
yes,
something like that, and because it's you being vulnerable and sharing a real kindness that they've done in private that they didn't want adulation for,
that's right.
but
And-
you kind of gave them their moment.
Yes, and then I immediately regretted it afterwards, and I was like, I've opened up, and now I feel exposed.
That's when the pints go down real easy.
Oh my
When
god!
you've opened up a bit too much.
I was like a little sucky calf whistling at the bar. Another whiskey. That's gone awful dry there, Joey. I'd say fill her up. I want to forget some things now.
But you were saying some woman came up in the story that I kind of, his mum or his auntie or somebody, what happened?
No, who he married.
His wife.
Was his wife, the absolute legend, Sarah. But so she has some land. So he's
Good woman.
Good woman. Absolutely. Obviously, I revealed this in a joking way during the speech, like of when he like was telling me about her, because he met her. She's a guard as well, and he was like, and he says she's gorgeous, and like, I feel comfortable around her, and she's so sound, and and then he started breathing quite heavily on the other end phone. I was like, you all right? He's like, she has a bit of land.
That's great.
And he has since, even though he's full time in the guards, very high up position in like a drug squad, drug unit. And he's a newborn child. He's absolutely up to us. And he has a house down in Limerick that they're building, but he has still got himself a herd of cattle for this land. Just completely overextending himself. And then I say, and with today's wedding and the union between Owen and Sarah, his transition has been complete. So I brought it back around to the start.
Great.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. And like, just sometimes I forget, like, just how funny my friends from Kilkenny are. Like, I mean, I was in stitches the whole weekend. I have a friend of mine, his name's like Connor Brennan.
We've done an hour, by the way, if you want to
have we?
continue the wedding stories on the Patreon.
We'll continue the wedding stories on the Patreon. Now, Connor has to listen to that.
Fuck you,
Nice.
Connor. I've been writing, like, every week I want to come up with a new way of enticing people onto the Patreon.
Yeah.
And no word of a lie, my one for this week was, we're going to talk about you behind your back on the Patreon. So you better fucking sign up for £3. Otherwise, we're going to say all kind of nasty things about you specifically listening to this. And that is true of one man.
Yeah, that's right. Connor.
And Taylor Swift. I was in Edinburgh when all the Taylor Swift madness was happening, so we'll talk about that on
My
the Patreon
gig in
as well.
Clonakilty was a fucking like a surreal journey through the astral realm.
Nice.
So we're going to talk about that gig. It was fucking insane.
Nice.
And I'm going to talk more about the wedding. I've got a vendetta with crows that I need to talk about in
We
my
might
house.
take some people's advice. I'm going to change the method of sending in advice because Instagram is really hard to keep a hold of those messages. I've had to like flag them and mark them as unread and all this mad stuff. So if you send any questions or advice via voice note or via email to guidetoparentingpod@gmail.com,
Yes.
that's a much easier way because I can just put it all in a folder and it's all okay. Please do it that way, and we will. It'll be much easier for us to respond to them and read them out on the podcast. And all
Just a
that
bit of advice.
Just a bit of advice.
Show's coming up. Vito.
I'm doing the Edinburgh Fringe every single day at 10:25, doing a crowd work show called Vittorio and Angelone and Friends off the cuff. A couple of the dates are nearly sold out, which is fucking crazy for recording this in June. get along to that. We're adding some extra tour shows during the Fringe if you want to come along to those. But then across the UK and Ireland in September, October, November, and December, doing a bunch of tour shows of Who Do You Think You Are? I Am, my show that I was just touring, and it's been extended into the autumn. I will say that already it feels like a couple of the places I might have overstretched myself. Hey, maybe didn't need to do a big theatre in Winchester. Who's in Winchester? Nobody. But that's all right. It'll be my auntie and nobody else there.
Buy tickets.
Kilkenny as well, at the Watergate. Is that
Watergate
where it is?
Theatre.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Sick.
I'm excited for that. So all around the UK and Ireland, like extra places that I didn't do in the first batch. And then also, as announced as of today, not when this comes out, but as we're recording, Dubai.
Oh!
On the 18th of October and Bahrain on the 20th of October.
Jesus, Mother of God.
So I'm
Lord mercy.
I'm invading the Middle East.
Yes.
And you should come along and
you and
watch.
Brian McFadden and going over there to make things right.
Go on the boys. So it's all on VittorioAngelone.com.
Lovely. So this weekend, I believe it'll be when this is out, June 23rd, I'm doing a work in progress show, all new material at the Bill Murray, 7 o'clock. Come by to that. Noise. Edinburgh, all of fucking August, 5:45. Nasty Character, going to be doing it for the full run. I'm also going to be doing, recording my special at the end of the Fringe in Glasgow at Blackfriars. Tickets could be available for that right now. Check. I'm just working that out at the minute. Also, I'm going to be doing a work in progress show all of Edinburgh at 12:20 for the first 10 days, and then at 1 p.m. and then at 12:20 again. They're going to be that's all going to be working out new stuff. Those tickets are probably going to be available now as well. Just go to mikerice.comedy.com or just on my link tree there on Instagram. Get them.
I've remembered something we absolutely should have plugged.
Fuck.
We're doing a fundraising gig.
Oh, shit! Fuck! I forgot.
On the 23rd of July at the Comedy Store in London.
Yes.
We have an all-star lineup, including loads of really good names. Mike and I will both be on the show.
Yes.
It's raising money for medical aid for Palestinians.
Yes.
There's terrible things happening over there and people living through terrible kind of humanitarian crises. And this goes to funding doctors and training and infrastructure.
That's right.
To basically for them to be able to be helped now, but also build infrastructure so that they can kind of set up a society within which they can live more humanely in the future. So 23rd of July, that'll be on sale on the Comedy Store website. We will put the link to the tickets in the podcast and all that stuff.
1st of September, Vicar Street. The tickets could be on sale.
Could be on sale. So that's in Dublin. Similar thing.
Yes.
Different lineup. Big, mad, kind of crazy lineup. We've just called in every favour and very sheepishly asked some famous comedians,
yes.
Can you please come do our gig, please?
Yeah.
But it's going to be really good fun. Both brilliant venues. We're very excited for both of those and for a very good cause. So don't think about the fact that we said that after all of our profit-making shows.
Yes. Nice.
Bye. Sign up to the Patreon. Patreon.com/parenting. Bye.
Bye.